Welcome to Family Gamer TV. All weekend I've been playing a new game, well, a new version of an old game with my family. As you may have guessed, this is Legends of Zelda, The Wind Waker. Now, this is a game that used to be on the Gamecube, and back on the Gamecube, I remember playing it when we just had our daughter. She'd just pretty much just been born back in 2003. And me and my wife played through it as she sort of slept beside us. So now, some 10 years later, it was really nice to play the game again with my daughter, now 10, and the other kids in the family, but on the Wii U. So it's been updated, it's got new graphics and new visuals, but has that same sort of cartoon, cel-shaded look and feel that I really like. And I've forgotten how beautiful actually an experience it was to watch the world unfold before you, and just that sort of stylized cartoon-like look and feel to the Wind Waker with our realistic graphics we get with our sort of modern consoles. I really appreciated this, and on the Wii U in HD it's absolutely sort of pixel perfect and just looks really pristine. But what I didn't know really was how the kids were going to take to the game. It's a one-player game. We play a lot of multiplayer games in our house, and often a single-player game it will be enough to sort of write it off. But what we found with Wind Waker was actually that we all got involved. So I sat down to play it. I was going to sort of play a bit on my own, see what it was like, and before long all the kids had come in and sort of been like, well, what are you playing, Dad? So I explained to them the game and how it works. So the way that pretty much all Zelda games work, and that's true for Wind Waker, is that you have an overworld area that you can explore. In this case it's a sea with lots of different islands in it, and each of those islands you can explore at your own pace. The islands slowly get unlocked as you carry on. And as with all Zelda games, you then come across different dungeons. Now these are the sort of puzzle areas, usually multiple levels, multiple rooms, and in them you'll find treasure and things to solve to be able to progress and get through.
At the other place we could have bought one.
Were there some bombs at the top here?
What's there with that water? What's that? Hey, that's cool, isn't it? Yes! Yes! Water rapidly. Now because
Well, how's that going to help?
we can swim in that and swim up to the other bit.
Oh, nice. So you then complete the dungeon and you're back into the overworld, and that's how the game proceeds. So you sort of swap between a dungeon section where you're puzzling to get through to the end. You complete that, then you're back into the overworld where the story continues. And the kids really enjoyed that. I think different ones of them could get involved in different ways. So whereas my daughter, it liked sort of exploring the overworld and the story and meeting people, my son enjoyed some of the fighting in the dungeons. And my youngest son actually found that he could spot some of the treasures and some of the enemies before anyone else. So he enjoyed getting involved as well. Then for the boss battles, they usually got me involved because they're more difficult. And so I'd come in, maybe take controls for a bit. But we'd all be working out how to defeat the bosses on each level. So I'm going to try and get it so that I can get the pot while he's doing that. So we'll get some more energy then while he's doing it. Some other things that have changed in the Wii U, as well as the sort of graphics and sound being enhanced for this version. Also the controls are different. So it takes those GameCube controls but applies them to the Wii U gamepad. So you have the map in front of you, and you can see that the whole time, your map or your items. You can bring them up while you're leaving the main screen, free to be played. You can see the action that's going on. You can glance down, see what you've got in your controller, pick an item, and that's much easier. We found that pretty good. You can also pick up the Wii U controller for targeting, so because it's got those motion sensors in it, you can look around and see who's coming. You can use it to target different weapons. Also, you can do this thing where if you want to free up the TV, you can press the plus button, I think it is, and then the game moves down to the Wii U controller and you're just playing it on that screen, freeing up the TV for someone else to use. So I think for families, this is a surprisingly good game, and we had a great time this weekend. The kids have actually pretty much talked about nothing else, and we're looking forward to carrying on playing more of it next weekend. Now, usually playing these games on my own, I usually resist the desire to go and look at sort of online guides if I get stuck. I found with the family though, it was probably better to keep the momentum going of the game before we got to sort of too sort of languishing in a particular area of a dungeon. And there were a couple of occasions where referring to an online guide meant that we knew what we had to do next. because some of the gameplay is quite convoluted, and you know you have to do a series of things in the right order to be able to move forward. So working in that way, the whole family were happy to be involved in working through these different dungeons. So on the Saturday, for instance, in the morning we encountered this particular island. We're into the dungeon, we're given a mission to get through this dungeon and help a particular character in the game. And on and off through the day, we had different sessions where we would work through the different puzzles. And by the end of the day, pretty much by the evening, we've managed to get there. And there's a real sense of achievement of us all together. So I think it'd be easy to overlook Wind Waker as a game for families, but for me and my family, this has been a real standout game on the Wii U, and I'd really recommend it. Not only does it look absolutely beautiful, and just to see Zelda exploring, and the way it's rendered, the way it looks like a sort of a really modern cartoon, as I said, absolutely pixel perfect. But the gameplay and the sheer amount to explore, the open world and all the things all the people you can talk to, all the things you can find there, and on the dungeon experience as you work through these different puzzle areas, just works, I think, really well for families. So I find myself saying something unusual on Family Gamer TV. Usually we pretty much stick to those multiplayer experiences in our recommendations, but the Wind Waker really crosses over that divide. It's a single player game, but it's one that's great for everyone to gather around, to contribute to take it in turns in playing. And in my family, it was a really involving experience. So if you're looking for a game like that, I really couldn't recommend anything better than Legend of Zelda Wind Waker on the Wii U. That's all we've got time for on Family Gamer TV, but do tell us what you think of this remake of Wind Waker on the Wii U. Perhaps you're looking forward to the new Zelda game on the 3DS, or perhaps you've tried Ocarina of Time on the 3DS, or perhaps there are some older classic Zelda games that you still go back and play. I'd love to hear from you, particularly if you want to recommend some of those for families.